What up, my leaders in focus? This is Don Jamal, your main man on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, what have you. But I'm just really making a post because this is my decade in review. 10 years. Man, what can I honestly say? After breaking up with somebody really, really nice, like this past decade has really been a test. A test to see like how well I can tolerate things. But let's see. Starting out in 2010, I made a really strong decision, a decision which I'm pretty confident would have lived in infamy if I thought at the time, was to invest in the military. Actually enlisting and going into the Air Force, which is something I kind of did on a whim because I really didn't have much of a life to kind of go forward with and wanted to just prove that I'm strong. No one else believed I was strong, but I believed I was strong, you know? So that was like the big ordeal. Moving on to 2011, while I was still in the military, I decided to actually work on the Playworthy Urban musical again. I did that, and that was one of those. I had the opportunity to do this again. I wanted to do a full production. I've had several cast members kind of quit on me, and from there, we just did the Minnesota Fringe and kind of just went from there. So, did that twice for the Minnesota Fringe. You can look up in your history books, but yes, Worthy of a Musical has been done twice for the Minnesota Fringe. 2012. Nothing really much was happening there. It was one of those kind of survival modes. I was still living with my parents and kind of really was, it was just more of a survival mode. Making sure that I'm able to keep going and have income here and there, because really wasn't much of a job left for me. It was the Great Recession. I'm pretty sure that everybody's heard of the Great Recession, especially that in which it was hard if you had a bachelor's degree and trying to get a job, and people ribbed you for it when you didn't have that job. You know, try to do something. Well, there's literally having to do 3 to 4 part-time jobs in order to make the kind of income I'm making right now. So 2013. Again, nothing too much was happening. I know that within that time frame, I was still kind of dealing with the idea of living with my parents and being in the military. I actually did a show out for the bowling alley. I want to say the Bryan Lake Bowl. Yep, it was for Raucous Caucus. I do remember that now. I did Raucous Caucus, and I thought I actually posted that picture, but I didn't. But I had a chance to actually play Barack Obama out on a whim. How do you deny that? How do you deny the idea of playing Barack Obama? So, did that, and from there, it was a matter of still trying to find a place, still trying to find some more work. By 2014, I told myself I needed a big boy job. So I went out and tried to look for a big boy job. I was working for a tile company at the time by 14. By 14, I said, you know what, I'm going to try and look for a new gig. So I went and applied for a special education teacher like credit, just something to keep me going, which is what I did for Burnsville. Then I got moved and transferred to Minneapolis Public Schools by the end of 2014 to 2015. And through Minneapolis Public Schools, I really got the rundown of how exactly to deal with someone in special education. And by 2015, that is where I was on a whim of wanting to get back into the arts. I still wanted to do that, but I just knew like there was just a wall, just an anti-Dante wall that I had to really punch through. So, but I was lucky. I was lucky. I was able to work for a company out in Bloomington called John Casablanca's modeling and acting service. It was a casting place. But I was able to be the educator. I turned into one of the main educators there when it comes to acting. It's what I do, it's what I know, it's how I actually know how to treat people. So that's what I kind of do to this day, and I actually tell people that I really do teach just on the side, almost like with a cash app, if you want to actually learn some education, or at least some actor's education from me for a fee. It would be, I'm charging as low as $20 to $30 an hour, depending on how much dialogue you have and depending on how much time you need with me. But that's beyond the point. That's 2015. By 2016, by February of 2016, I'll say, that was the time I decided that I would leave the military, and I don't know why, but something told me to leave by February of 2016. And I think we all know why. It was really smart for me to leave by 2016. But I digress from the point. Now, it was an interesting year. I was living in St. Louis Park and had no idea that I was a victim of gentrification. The actual place that I was in was being torn down and being rebuilt, and many, many tenants of color were kicked out on the street. And I tell you that was quite, and I do mean quite, a moment in my life to think about, that I was a victim of gentrification. Nobody ever thinks about that. But anyways, moving on. I want to say I was 33 at the time. Yep, 33 at the time. Moving on. 2017. 2017, I was 34. Only so much is happening, but I was living downtown, and from there it was a matter of getting my mojo back, keeping it going. Still working for the modeling and acting place, starting to do really small bits and pieces, things here and there, actually doing a lot more recording for the album The Hell I Know. This is where The Hell I Know comes in. While at the time of me coming out of the military, I was able to get a doctor who works on my overanxious anxiety and mild depression. Now, I'm not really shy about that. I'm going to let you guys know that right now. So within that time frame, I've been going to this doctor for a minute now, which is not necessarily bad. But, I also have to backtrack. Sorry about that. I have to backtrack. By March 22, I got my car broken into. It was broken into, and my backpack was stolen, my CD was stolen, I think some of my medicine was stolen as well, along with my card reader and quite a number of my CDs. Literally broken into, like sitting in your car, and you're sitting in, I'm like, this looks different. And noticing a whole ton of glass along the side of my car is actually being broken into. So, yeah, that was quite an interesting moment. So the following day, I told myself, I'm not going to drink anymore. My life was just not together. It was not together. It was not connecting the way I wanted it to. My life wasn't connected where I wanted it to. The arts that I kind of dealt with was not connecting the way I wanted it to. And I was seriously depressed. And I was up here by myself. I didn't have anybody to really lean on, to really talk to. So people wonder like why I don't drink and why I don't party as much. That's one of the reasons why. I refuse to be that guy anymore. So I've been to actual places where I'm really trying to connect with somebody, but I'm usually drunk half the time. So I figured it's probably smart that I'm really sober. And the means of that, by 2017, and this is where I kind of got into down to knees to get healthy mode. So this is where the idea is just not eating pork or even not drinking. But I also got in the mode of perhaps I need to believe something completely different. So moving on to 2018, 2018 was a big year. It was a huge year for me, believe it or not. This is where my music videos on YouTube started to really collect. I mean, you'll definitely see them. You'll see the Hell I Know music video. You will see a couple of other music videos that's really out there. But more importantly, it's just the connectability I've had. I started doing a lot more shows. I started selling a lot more CDs, and this is where my sobriety really kicked in, because I decided to meditate a little bit more and become incredibly spiritual. So yeah, 2018 is where I decided to really become a spiritualist and just go from there. So here we are in 2019. Within the time frame of 2017 on to this year, I've gotten into a lot of movies. I've done a number of side gigs, but a lot of movies. And I know that in my heart, I needed to do something just strong enough to keep me going. And as much as I wanted to keep doing theater, much of these theater companies only cast so much. So I do a lot of films, a lot of local films in the area. I'm still recording to this day. The Hell I Know EP is online right now, along with a couple of music videos for The Hell I Know, one of them being The Audacity, another one being The Hell I Know. I'm just finishing up two more. One of them is actually an animated one. Oh, speaking of animated, this past summer I actually got cast in a show. At least it's a show, but it's a show that you guys probably weren't expecting. It's a show for really like 80s film. Some of you may remember The Last Dragon. Well, imagine if there was an animated version of The Last Dragon called The Rise of the Last Dragon, and your guy has been cast to be one of the voices on there. I'm not going to say what voice I'm doing just yet, but I'm at least saying that I will be on that show. So these are a number of really, really big things, along with the films that I will be taking place with. along with just new adventures. In this decade, I've lost friends, I've lost girlfriends, I've lost cars, 3 cars to be perfectly exact. I've lost sanity, I've lost weight, I've gained muscle, I've lost my own mental ability most days, but more importantly, I've lost followers, and that's gonna happen. It's here and there. I'm not gonna really tell people, you really shouldn't be following me. I'm kind of thankful for each and every last one of you guys to be watching this right now. Anything left that I can really add on that's really dope? It's been a hell of a ride this past 10 years. And for someone like myself who's in the educational system right now, I'm working on as of my 4th year working at a high school that some would say is really rough. I'm glad to still be alive because there are moments in which I didn't think I was going to be alive. I actually blacked out in 2016 and really thought that this was it. This is really it. There was just no coming back after this. But God willing, I'm still here. I'm still talking with you guys. I'm still putting out the arts for you all. But pretty soon, I have a lot more planned for 2020. You have not seen anything yet, and I do mean 2020. I'm calling 2020 the year in focus. 2020 is my year in focus. And why I say that, because there's a lot more coming my way. I'm telling you guys this right now that I may be doing a little bit of touring, and I do mean with my music, so you definitely want to stay focused on some of the music that I post out there, because there's a lot more music that I do have coming. The next record is going to be a little bit more boom bap based as opposed to this last one, which is kind of on the I'm trying to be trendy but not really trendy kind of deal. But that's really what the hell I know kind of comes into play. But this next record is going to be solid boom bap. I mean, really strong hip hop right there. But other than that, I really do want to thank each and every last one of you for sitting and actually paying attention and listening to me. Now, granted, I haven't done a lot of posting in a while. This is one of the reasons why I'm letting you guys know about my over-anxious anxiety and mild depression. Because 9 times out of 10 when I post something, I want likes, I want follows, I want comments. I can't necessarily push you guys and tell you guys, please comment, please subscribe. I want you guys to do that on your own. Something, like with an impulse. Something to really push you to say, I like this guy. I want to comment on this guy. I want to talk to this guy. I want to connect with him in some way. Do that. As opposed to me just really telling you this. I can leave this out here and I can really tell you, I can absolutely be this person, but I would love it for you guys to really follow me without the absolute pressure of commenting on me or following me. Like, go with your impulse. I mean, if it seems like I suck, it seems like I suck. If it seems like that's something you can connect with, that's fine. But I'd rather have alliance than servitude. Do you know the difference? Alliance is when we have people that are in your circle that say a lot of things that you don't necessarily agree with, but you're willing to work with them in some way, shape, and form. I'm not speaking politics here. I'm just speaking like just you, me talking. Now, there are a lot of things that we do in which you're not going to agree with, but at least you're able to connect with me on an alliance basis. Sorry. Servitude, on the other hand, we're talking the realm of whatever I say you're supposed to agree with, or we can't be friends. That's servitude. I can't say that you guys need to be this. I mean, I call you guys leaders in focus, really, because I really hate the idea of followers. I'd rather have leaders with me. I'd rather have people who are willing to connect with me. That's why I call you guys leaders in focus. But as far as servitude is connected, I refuse to be that guy anymore. When you're 36 years old and you are trying everything physically possible to be a part of an alliance than just doing what other people are doing because it's trendy, or doing what other people are doing because these guys are the ones up top. I refuse to be that person. So if that's the person you think I am, don't follow me. Like, let me go right now and just go from there. So really want to just extend the hand out, because Rise of the Last Dragon, you'll definitely hear my voice in there. I have a couple more films that I'm going to be involved with, and not only that, just new music that's coming your way. So, oh yes, the very, very last one, I'm definitely going to let you go. If you guys are really thick Doomtree fans, don't be surprised if you see a GoFundMe video coming soon. I'm working with an individual by the name of Paul, and he is either a director or someone who has produced with a lot of work with Doomtree, and he is going to make a video with me. So that's something to keep in mind too. We are coming with a show that may not officially happen until 2021, but we're definitely going to need your help in order to get that show on board, along with a few other projects that I have in mind. But all in all, blessings to you guys for following me this long. And again, I still think 2020 is the year in focus for everybody. It's like everything is becoming clear. So thanks again for following me. Stay focused. Goodbye.